Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB. In this video I am going to tell you about how foreign exchange reserve is generated, what are the sources of the foreign exchange and what are the benefits of keeping high reserve. Now India has crossed 500 billion of the reserve. If you have not gone through this video, which is also available on the channel, go through this, you will understand what consists of forex. We will discuss about how much forex is enough and then important questions for RBI grade B and SEBI grade A exam. Let me start by this Kabir Das का दोहा, कस्तूरी कुंडल बसे मृग ढूंढत बदमाही, ज्यों घट घट में राम हैं दुनिया देखत नाही. We are giving free mock test here and you are finding out places to spend money while the best mock tests are at iExamB. So practice that, know your progress. We are telling about the progress of India's foreign exchange reserve. Almost 500 time increase from 1 billion to 500 billion in last 20 years. In 1991 it was close to 5 billion, but there was a time before that for few days it was even 1 billion forex reserve. I will tell you that history. That time when India was facing that foreign exchange crisis, we have about 12 days reserve, and now it is 12 month of reserve. 12 month, I mean to say it is enough to cover the import bill for 12 months, for a year. I will explain all this, and remember that it is about 88% of our external debt. India's total external debt is 564 billion at the end of 2019, but this debt is not the all liability, because there are some other liabilities which are in form of the investment for the country. It becomes liability. So total liability will be closer to a trillion for India. We will understand all this. First you understand what is the source of foreign exchange reserve, how a country generates foreign exchange reserve. So there are two sources, current account balance and capital account balance. In current account balance, when the export proceeds are higher, what will happen when you sell something? Say India exports garments to Germany, Italy, US, UK, you will get payment in USDs, foreign exchange. So that will bring foreign exchange to the country. The current account deficit is the difference between import and export of the country. That tells you the current account deficit. The word itself is deficit. The value of the import is more than the export. That becomes the deficit. Export brings forex and import lead to the outflow of the forex. A declining current account deficit. See, when the CAD declines, it will add to the forex reserve, and this is one of the important reason. Today we'll show you the data after this slide. At the same time, capital account balance. What is capital account balance? The investment in form of the foreign direct investment and foreign portfolio investment, or maybe other banking flows like external commercial borrowing or external assistance. What are these transactions? Foreign direct investment means a long-term investment, mostly into unlisted company, or wait for this definition, more detailed explanation. And foreign portfolio investment is mostly in the listed companies, a small percentage of investment below 10% of the shares. External commercial borrowing is the debt part. Say for example Tata, Reliance, big companies, they want to borrow money from abroad. They can use the ECB route. And external assistance is World Bank, IMF, say giving some money to India, some donation, or maybe NGOs also get some foreign donations at times. When net flow of FDI or FPI is there, net inflow is there, so it adds to forex reserve, because outflow will also be there. A foreign investor, if that foreign investor sells investment, they have invested in India, now they sell and take the money out, so that will be outflow. So when net inflow is there, so it will add to foreign exchange reserve. Through export, foreign exchange comes in the country. Through investment, foreign exchange comes in the country, and RBI buys that foreign exchange. It increases the country reserve. Read this news here, that current account deficit narrows to 1% of the GDP from 2.6% a year ago. Deficit is declining. So this year 2021, it is expected that we will become CAD surplus. Most of the time India's CAD is positive, means deficit is more, import is more. and our main import is the crude oil. Now the price of the crude oil are declining. Do you remember that news about the negative price for crude in USA? It went to that level. If you want to understand that detail, go to a class by Prachi ma'am on the channel. But here the point is, because of the decline in the prices of the crude, India's CAD position is improving. Our deficit is decreasing. Fall in the crude price is one reason, and also increase in the private remittance, that is helping us increasing the foreign exchange remittances in the country. See this FDI and foreign portfolio investment in the country. The latest one is Reliance Jio. Large investment of 13 billion has been done by various companies including Facebook, Silver Lake, KKR, General Atlantic, etc. in Reliance Jio. So this 13 billion coming to India in form of the foreign exchange is adding to our forex reserve, and also foreign portfolio inflows has picked up. See this table. In 2020 the net position in FPI has positive number. If we include equity, the money comes in form of equity or may be in form of debt also, and hybrid instruments are also there, right? So this is net in June and also in Jan Feb. In between March, April, May it is negative, so outflows were more. So these inflows also adds to forex reserve. Now the point is, what is the benefit of holding these many reserve? Why RBI is doing this? Because earlier we have faced challenges. As I was saying, in 2091 our foreign exchange reserve fell below 1 billion. Only 1 billion, not even 12 days reserve, and no country was willing to give loan to India. India has to physically export gold. 67 tons of the gold went from RBI chest. It was transported in a chartered aeroplane to London, kept in Bank of London as a security for an emergency loan of 2.2 billion by IMF. That was the crisis India has faced. And that time, I think Mr. Chandrasekhar was the Prime Minister, and after that Mr. Narasimha Rao was elected as Prime Minister, and he appointed Dr. Manmohan Singh as Finance Minister because he realized only an economist can now bring the economy back online. Then came the liberalization. Currency were devalued by 23% and economy was opened up. Now in 20 years we have reached from 1 billion to 500 billion. At the time of Asian financial crisis that were in 1997 in East Asian countries like Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, their country's position was very weak because foreign investors took money out of these countries. The India's reserve, foreign exchange reserve, were 29 billion that time. RBI used these to safeguard India from the impact of these crises. Later resurgent India bond were issued. The point is, forex reserve were useful in these crises, and also if you see 2000 onward, forex reserve first time crossed 100 billion mark in 2004, and that time the CAD was 1.1% of the GDP, and in 2008-9 forex reserve peaked 94% of the GDP. Today how much it is? I discussed in the video. It is 88%. And at the time of global financial crisis in 2008, as it happens, at the time of crisis, foreign investors pull out the money. Even here you can see the trend. When there is a COVID situation, everybody was worried. So there is more outflow. At the time of crisis, everyone wants to save cash. So that time also, RBI sold forex reserve to protect the currency. And later in 2013, FCNR bonds were mobilized to raise 26 billion. Don't need to remember these data of history because these will not be asked, but you understand this to understand the logic, understand the concept, which is useful for exam. Now the question comes, why RBI is not using reserve to support the INR? So right now also INR is depreciating. It has come to 75 rupees plus because RBI is building buffer for a likely crisis. Recently you must have read this. Moody's downgraded India's rating by 1 notch. RBI was worried that time, government was worried if S&P also downgrades, S&P's rating will then go below investment grade, and below investment grade means many investors have a mandate, a written mandate that they cannot invest in a below investment grade. So many will have to sell and they will have to take money out of the country. So in these kind of situation, these reserves will be helpful. You want to understand about this rating downgrade, please go to this video, why India's rating was downgraded, available on the channel. So this kind of reserve also help in getting positive sentiment, and rating agencies also take this as a positive sentiment, as a strength of the economy. It is here to shield any impending economic crisis due to the pandemic, which is very likely. We know that banking sector is going to face increase in NPA, increasing bad loan. It strengthens the balance sheet of the RBI. If RBI balance sheet is strengthened, RBI will be able to transfer bigger slice of the profit to the government. How it happens? This is the balance sheet of RBI. So in RBI balance sheet, these foreign investment will be written in form of the rupee, amount in billion rupees, and mostly these are investment done in US securities by RBI. Understand, say suppose this is 100 billion. When RBI invested this 100 billion a few years back, suppose that time the rupee was 70 rupees for 1 USD. Okay, so this 70 billion that time when RBI invested will become 7,000 crore. Today when the rupee has become 75 for $1, because RBI basically invested 100 billion, the investment in US Treasury will be in billion. So now today this 100 billion will become 7,500 crore. So there is a gain of 500 crore here. Ultimately it is an earning for RBI, because in rupee terms the value has increased. So what will happen with this? Ultimately RBI will put it in surplus in RBI income statement. So it will be called as surplus rather than calling profit. RBI is not a profit making organization. So ultimately extra surplus it passes to Government of India. Last year lot of discussion on that. So this way strengthening the balance sheet of RBI is going to give more profit to Government of India, and keeping the value of the local currency low helps in export. Right now inflation is not the concern, so RBI buys dollars from the market. More INR comes into the market. More INR in the market means higher inflation, but inflation is not a worry today. Especially wholesale inflation is actually almost negligible. The retail inflation is there, but that is mainly because of the lockdown supply chain issue. Now that is improving. So the moot point is, what is the adequate amount of forex? Country to country it will change, but what is for India? Let's quote the expert. In 2019 December, the Committee on RBI's Economic Capital Framework made certain observations on this. The committee was headed by Dr. Vimal Jalan. He was former RBI governor. It says, since forex reserves are invested in low yielding assets like US Treasury, they are subjected to volatility in the RBI balance sheet. So what is that volatility? You understand the inverse relationship between the price and the yield of a bond, the price of a bond and the yield in the market, or the interest rate in the market, right? So when it was invested, say for example 1% was the interest rate in the US Treasury bill, and later the market interest rate if rises to 2%, what will happen to the value of this bond? It will decrease. These are zero coupon bonds, right? So for the decrease in the value, RBI has to mark losses as per the market value. So this is M2M losses. So that is one challenge here. But RBI has actually not lost money, because RBI hold these securities, and the committee also noted that foreign exchange reserve were significantly lower than the country's total external liability. Total external liability is close to 1 trillion. So ours is half a trillion reserve now. That time it was further less, and it is our overall forex reserve is lesser than even our external debt. So when we talk about liabilities, it has both debt and equity which can go out. Understand this technical point which can be asked in any form of MCQ. The committee concluded it needed to be taken into account in assessing the external risk being faced by the country, and the possibility that RBI may be required to increase the size of forex reserve with its concomitant implications for the balance sheet, risk and desired economic capital. The Jalan committee has not given any specific number. It is very difficult to give, but they also suggested that it is not very high reserve considering our external debt and liabilities, and it is helpful in any risk situation. Now coming to question and answer, important for RBI grade B and SEBI exam. The first question here is, who was the chairman of the committee on RBI's economic capital framework in 2019? If you cannot answer this question, then you have not heard what I said in the video. It's very simple answer. Bimal Jalan. Remember the name of the committee, Economic Capital Framework. This committee was set up for suggesting the transfer of excess surplus from RBI to Government of India, which finally RBI did last year. The second question is, the investment in Jio platform by various fund is in form of. Here you need to understand what are these FDI, FPI. Choose the right option. The answer here is FDI, because Jio is an unlisted company, so they have not invested in RIL, Reliance Industries Limited. That is a listed company. The news about the rights issue of RIL and the details we will cover in separate video. But Reliance Jio is a private company, unlisted company, and the equity investment in unlisted company is always FDI. In listed company, up to 10% in equity will qualify for foreign portfolio investment, and FII is an old subcategory of foreign portfolio investment. So understand these terminology, more important for exam. Which one of the following situations describe current account deficit in India? I explained in very detail what is current account deficit means. Pause the video here, choose the right option. This is a concept based question. The correct answer is, when the value of import is more than the export, that is a current account deficit situation. Current account deficit consists of balance of trade, net primary income or factory income, and net unilateral transfer that have taken place over a period of time. CAD is a measurement of the country's trade where the value of the goods and services it imports exceed the value of the product it exports. Which of the following does not constitute capital account? Here you have to remember which are the things in capital account. Mark your answer. The correct answer here is private remittances. These are not capital account. Capital account is a record of the inflows and outflows of the capital that directly affects nations' foreign assets and liabilities. It consists of these following items: foreign investment, direct investment, portfolio investment, both external assistance, commercial borrowing, short-term loan, banking capital, rupee debt services, other capital. So total capital account is all 1 to 7. For RBI exam, understand current account and capital account very well. Which organization helps countries to meet deficit in balance of payment? This is a simple question. You have to write your answers in comments below. The more you participate, the better you learn. For learning with the help of the live classes in which you can ask all your questions to the experts of iExamB, try a free demo of the complete learning course at iexamb.com. If you are serious about cracking the exam, you will definitely appreciate the crisp learning content and the faculty help which mentors you for your success in the exam. If you have any question, feel free to reach to us 92055 24028. You can WhatsApp, you can SMS, you can call, and don't forget to subscribe the channel, press the bell icon, and remember, exam hai to iExamB hai.